Chapter 6: Social Changes Amongst Mobile and Settled Communities. Over the centuries, important political, social and economic developments had taken place. But social lives were not the same everywhere, because different kinds of societies evolved differently. Thus, it is important for us to learn how and why this happened. With the arrival of the Muslims, a new group of people emerged on the Indian social horizon. These were the Turks and the Afghans. Society aristocracy during the medieval period was dominated by the Turks and the Afghans. But this is not to say that the local Hindu chiefs lost their importance. Next came the town people, the merchants, traders and artisans who lived in towns. A flourishing trade made the merchants and traders very rich. The goods made by artisans and craftsmen were used within the country and were also exported. At the bottom were the peasants who lived in villages. They had to pay many taxes. Most peasants were very poor and struggled to feed themselves and their families. Changes of rulers and dynasties had little impact on their lifestyle. Tribal societies there were, however, other kinds of societies as well. Many societies in the subcontinent did not follow the social rules and rituals prescribed by the Brahmanas, nor were they divided into numerous unequal classes. Such societies are after called tribes. Members of each tribe were united by kinship bonds. Many tribes obtained their livelihood from agriculture. Most often they combined these activities to make full use of the natural resources of the area in which they lived. Some tribes were nomadic and moved from one place to another. A tribal group controlled land and pastures jointly, and divided these amongst household according to its own rulers. Many large tribes thrived in different parts of the subcontinent. They usually lived in forests, hills, deserts and places difficult to reach. Sometimes they clashed with the more powerful caste-based societies. In various ways, the tribes retained their freedom and preserved their separate culture. Areas having large population of tribes. 1. Northeastern regions of India. Important tribes are Kachahari, Garo, and Khast, aka. 2. Central India. Famous tribes are Santhal, Khario, Gond. 3. Southern India. Chanchu, Kota, Mala. 4. Western India. Bhil and Khasa. Living conditions of tribes: they are very backward. Majority of them depend on gathering food from the forests, breeding cattle and hunting. They live in scarcity. They are very poor. They are mostly in debt. They are mostly unemployed and underemployed. Social problems. Child marriages are common. Tribal culture has been on the decline. Tribal art is also dying out for want of patronage. Tribal people face problems of communication when they come in contact with other people. In general, they are illiterate. There are very few facilities for even primary education in tribal belts. Social tribal development in India. Important steps: provisions in the constitution for the welfare of the tribal people. Reservations in parliament and state assemblies. Reservations as jobs. Several schemes for the promotion of education among tribals. Many schemes for the economic settlement of the tribals. Grants for revolutionary organizations during welfare work for the tribal people. Formation of a separate Ministry of Tribal Development. Since Vedan's times, Ibn Lasi poiety has comprised 4 distinct castes. These 4 castes are: 1. The Brahmins. 2. The Kshatriyas. 3. The Vaishyas. 4. The Shudras. Meaning of caste. Caste may originally have been a social division of labor. Today it is acquired by change in spite of occupational choice. Origin of caste system. It is very difficult to state when caste system originated in India. Scholars have different views. Caste and Indian constitution. During the Vedic period, the word Varna was used in the classification of society. On this basis, the society was based on the choice of occupations. Varna did not imply high or low. In the Vedas, there is a hymn which says, "I am a poet, my father is a physician and my mother grinds corn on stone." Clearly, castes in Vedic era were not hereditary but by choice of occupation. As people of different races came to India from different parts of the world, they mingled with the native people and this led to multiplication of castes. The Greeks, the Huns, the Saks, the Kushans, the Afghans, the Turks, the Arabs, the Mongols, the English, the French, etc. came to India from time to time. The intermingling of people with different social backgrounds created divisors within established caste structures. The four castes expanded divisions of castes into subcastes. People involved in administration responsibilities would not fit into the rigid caste classification. How nomads and mobile people lived. Nomadic people moved over long distances with their animals. They lived on milk and other pastoral products. They also exchanged wool, ghee etc. with settled agriculturists for grain, cloth, utensils and other products. They bought and sold these goods as they moved from one place to another, transporting them on their animals. The Banjaras were the most important trader nomads. Their caravan was called Tanda. Sultan Alauddin Khilji used the Banjaras to transport grain to the city markets. Emperor Jahangir wrote in his memoirs that the Banjaras carried grain on their bullocks from different areas and sold it in towns. They transported food or grain for the Mughal army during military campaign. With a large army there could be 1 lakh bullocks carrying grain. The Gonds lived in a vast forested region called Gondwana or country inhabited by Gonds. They practiced shifting cultivation. The large Gond tribe was further divided into many smaller clans. Each clan had its own Raja as Sardar. About the time that the Akbarnama, a history of Akbar's reign, mentions the Gond kingdom of Garaha Katanga that had 70,000 villages. The administrative system to these kingdoms was becoming centralized. The kingdom was divided into Gads. Each Gad was controlled by a particular Gond clan. This was further divided into units of 84 villages called Chaurasi. The Chaurasi was subdivided into Badhots which were made up 12 villages each. Occupation. The main occupation of the Gonds is tilling and agriculture. They also collect food products and indulge in hunting and fishing. Some among them are craftsmen and make small metallic objects of everyday use. Cultural, social and religious life of Gonds. They prefer marriage within the blood relations mostly according to Hindu customs and rites. It is stated that divorces, remarriages and widow marriage are common. They practice a system of reverse dowry in which the groom has to pay certain amount of cash and goods to the bride's father. The Gonds believe in ghosts and spirits. The people are economically very backward and deprived. The Ahoms migrated to the Brahmaputra Valley from present-day Myanmar in the 13th century. They created a new state by suppressing the older political system of the Bhuyans. During the 16th century, they annexed the kingdoms of the Chutias, 1523, and the Koch Majo and subjugated many other tribes. The Ahoms built a large state and for this they used firearms as early as the 1530s. By the 1660s, they could even make high-quality gunpowder and cannons. The Ahom state depended upon forced labor. Those forced to work for the state were called papes. A census of the population was taken. Each village had to send a number of papes by rotation. People from heavily populated areas were shifted to less populated places. Ahoms clans were thus broken up. By the first half to the 17th century, the administration became quite centralized. Almost all adult males served in the army during war. At other times, they were engaged in building dams, irrigation systems and other public works. The Ahoms also introduced new methods of rice cultivation. Ahom society was divided into clans or fets. There were very few castes of artisans, so artisans in the Ahom areas came from the adjoining kingdoms. A khel often controlled several villages. The peasant was given land by his village community. Even the king could not take it away without the community's consent. Ahom society was very sophisticated. Poets and scholars were given land grants. Theatre was encouraged. Important works of Sanskrit were given land grants. Important works of Sanskrit were translated into the local language. Historical works, known as Buranjis, were also in language and then in Assamese. Records of history. There was a proliferation literary activity. Inscriptions carved into stone, etched in metal, the historical document social and economical activities of different regions during the 17th century. These inscriptions tell all about trade to social and economic activities of particular regions. Texts and literary writings had become more important in the later medieval period. The calligraphic inscription also record names of individuals like rulers or the person who constructed the monument. Ibn Battuta, Abul Fazl wrote their personal experience in their traveler account. The titles sultans and emperor referred to the power and personal identities. Barni said history is the knowledge of the annals and traditions of prophets, caliphs, sultans and great men of religion and government. The people were more concerned with their cultural identity during this period, like the Mughals wanted to project a different identity from Mongols. The study of human origins, society and culture receives greater prominence in anthropology. The anthropological studies lead us to history in social and cultural context. Societies have evolved through interactions, not independently. Anthropological studies gave many information about various tribal groups of India. Some tribes established extensive states with well-organized systems of administration. They became politically powerful and lead to conflict with larger kingdoms. Medieval period gave India a multicultural legacy with the fusing of Hindu and Muslim culture. With this intermixture of religious communities, a composite culture has developed and flourished in this period.